Ladies and gentlemen, I am back here again for another movie review. This is an anime movie premiere, Spy Family, Cold White. What does a telepath, a assassin, and the world's greatest spy have in common? They are the Forgers. They are a family. Anya is the little girl who's so sweet, but she can read people's minds. She's got a little dog who happens to see into the future. And she's got a pseudo mom and dad that are pretending to be her mom and dad because of certain reasons that are mission oriented. But none of them, except for Anya, know who each other is. And the mother is Yor. She is the world's deadliest female assassin. And Lloyd is the greatest spy. This show, if you haven't seen the first season or the second season, I highly recommend you go and check it out. If you've never seen the show, you can get into this very quickly and is action packed. It is funny. It is sweet. It is endearing. It is animated very well. They're engaging characters, but there's this sweet little girl named Anya, and she is everything. But much like the advertising they show here, they do take some very interesting action links because, make no mistake, there are very much so moments that are related to spy and espionage, assassins, political gain, and some very harsh themes that are going on. But at its core, which is the same for the show, it is about the family. And I love it. So I'm gonna give you guys a kind of quick backdrop without spoiling anything from the first or second season. I'm just gonna tell you in the context of this story. So within this story, Lloyd is approaching a possible other mission, and he is intercepted with a problem that his handler basically is like, well, I may need you to kind of move away from this whole fake family thing and focus on something more important. Then, as they go on to this excursion on a family trip, which I'm not going to disclose because it's a non-spoiler review. While this is kind of happening, transpiring, Yor just happens to go and check and see that she's worried, or the people that she works with basically said or alluded to, if your husband starts to go and exhibit certain things, he may be cheating on you. And the whole entire time she is concerned that Lloyd, even though he is her fake husband, she doesn't want him to have feelings for someone else or possibly want to replace her or what she provides to the family, because the family means everything to her. And unfortunately, Anya, she, as normal, gets herself into some foolish shenanigans that are related to international espionage because she unfortunately digested a certain candy that had something very important to some very deadly and powerful people. That is the background synopsis of it. And I'll kind of break it down for you guys. The thing that I loved about this is this excellent balance of family drama mixed with a lot of joy and a lot of sweetness. It's so strange to say. There's a perfect balance here where there are moments where you may see your assassin. She may have just killed somebody. It's blood splattered everywhere, which is, no, that's really harsh. This is why this is not for kids, but there are themes in here that it can relate to kids absolutely. And then there's a moment where you may have Anya who's just laughing uncontrollably because she's trying to bake something. And then you have moments where Lloyd is kind of in a situation where his back is against the wall. Like the people that he loves are in danger. What will he do? What links will he take? And from an action standpoint, it is amazing. Some of the action in this is great. But the reason why this works is, even though I've described different moments and segments, they balance it out with making sure that the family comes together. Even certain themes about what family is all about is laid present in here. Like there's so many just amazing small little shots that you see them as the perfect little family, even though they are so dysfunctional. Like some of them have no idea what's going on. The only one that really truly knows everything holistically is honestly Anya. But when I think about yours, she's just so sweet, but she's the most deadliest thing ever. And so if you ever cross her, anything's liable to happen, especially when you come against her family or her daughter and her husband. The things that I think you guys are gonna love is the animation. This is very action packed. There are certain moments in the beginning of it that I was kind of like, oh, okay, I don't know if they're gonna go this route, but they very quickly put us on a train, no pun intended, and take us along for this ride that I did not anticipate. The third act of this, it reminds me of what My Hero does. Like when My Hero comes out with a movie or even Demon Slayer, that third to second act transition is insane. And the action for this is really freaking good. And it's kind of like you actually start to be concerned with how the characters are going to make it out unscathed. And then at times you don't know whether or not they actually truly will, because ultimately there's a lot on the line. It's not just their lives, it's also the world that they're trying to protect. And even like trying to preserve themselves as a family, a lot of this has to be kept secret or it will blow everything. And again, I think that the way that they handled the pacing for this was done really well. There are certain moments where I think that for people that have not watched the show, they're not going to kind of understand like what's really going on. But I think you'll be able to still be very entertained by it. There are a couple scenes that are just so silly. Um, there's a scene where Anya just has to go to the bathroom. And it can be the most simplistic thing, but they animate it so well and it's so over the top and it's so ridiculous that you can't help but be like, what am I watching? This is a great thrill ride if you love the animated series or the anime itself. But if you've never been introduced to Spy Family, I think this might be a good introduction. I think you could go and watch this and immediately go back and start watching before and going into the second season. And I don't think you're going to be missing a step. I think if more than anything, it's going to be like, oh, wow, what have I been missing? And again, there are certain things that happen in this that are very dark. There is a lot of death. There are maimings. There are like a lot of threats. So this is not for kids necessarily. I would recommend at least going and checking out ahead of time. Because like they're like one of the first early scenes, like somebody just literally just gets shot and just blood everywhere. Again, Yor is an assassin, so there's moments where she's killing people, like, and it's pretty bloody. And again, the other part of the theme of this is a young girl that's getting kidnapped. So there are certain things and aspects in this that are not for kids, but if you can get past all of that and you can kind of give Spy Family Code White a chance, I think that you're going to be very pleasantly surprised what you get. It's well animated, wholesome story, great characters, great action, and a lot of fun and entertaining laughs. That is probably one of the better anime series that is this perfect balance of sweetness and grit and espionage and action, which is so weird, but they find a way of being able to make it work. For me, I rate this at a 9 out of 10, especially for I think one of the first anime films I've seen this year. So I'm very excited for more. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell button, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Keep it locked. JVS, we ain't gonna stop. Take care, guys. Peace, people. Filing out the top of I can see the skyline, 50 mile radius on my timeline. Ain't nothing on my mind.